Ebobi Igbo mamanu asim ka nko echiri ya zelu dịka o si dị gị bụ onye ọma na-ege ntị daalụ nne na ụmụ ife kunu si wee na-esola anyị n'ihe anyị na-eme n'elu akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa na Eastern News 24 bịa bụ ife anyị na-akpọ ya evening tea dịka unu si wee malụ ọ evening tea ka anyị na-akpọ ya. Ihe a bụ gbasịta maka ihe na-eme n'obodo a and gbasịta maka ngwụrụwa na-azọ emeka bụ ka ọ dị na ọbụla ya dị enye unu update ihe na-emegasị ebe dị iche iche kwuru na aghọta ife na-emenụ ọ ga-enye aka anyị na-akwado ụwa ya ọfụma n'ife ha na-eme maka information is power. So ya mere anyị ji wee na-agba mbọ iwetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi anyị na-akpọ evening tea n'Igbo akwụkwọ. Ma dịka o si dị, o nwere ihe Biafran Prime Minister nwere ikwu anyị n'elu akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa. A ma chọkwa onye ọbụla bụ Igbo ọma na-ege ntị na-anụ olu m na-anụ asụsụ m na-asụ gee ya bụ ife ị ga-esi ya ịdrọpụla your own contribution, your own comment n'elu akwụkwọ gbasara maka ihe ndị a niile Biafran Prime Minister kwuo. All right, over to you, sir.
And we expect on an emergency basis upon which this was filed that the Nigerian government will answer this communication before the referendum date at the end of November, before the referendum results are due. We've made this very clear that Nigeria must be brought into the Banjul process before the end of November. And we will wait and see what happens. If the Nigerians refuse, then the African Union will proceed without them under their rules.
Thank you very much, Dr. Levy. And of course, the Biafra government has made their stand very, very clear. As we pursue the freedom of Biafra using this multidimensional approach, diplomatic approach, political approach, legal approach, and of course, the approach of self-defense. We are not dropping down our weapons because we are going to be annihilated by the Nigeria state. We've seen them done it in other parts of Nigeria. They are still doing it, and those people are helpless. So we have taken this position, and nothing on this planet Earth will make us go back. Only the pronunciation from the African Union on the recognition of this particular self-referendum that the Biafra Republic government in exile is conducting at this point. We also demand the ratification of this particular self-referendum. And in case they feel that this is not up to their standard, they are, of course, very free to conduct their own supervised referendum in Biafra. But the first and foremost, our demand is that this ongoing self-referendum must be ratified by the African Union and the Banjul Court. So just to ram it up, and this particular communication will be made public. And I believe that many press, journalists, and the media representatives who are here, this particular application and filing will be made public. We're not hiding anything, and Biafrans can see exactly what the government have done and what we are still going to do. There are many pending things that we are working out together with our attorney, Dr. Levy, which will come in the later days. And of course, as we progress, we will always come to update Biafrans on what we are doing and how far we have gone and what they are going to be expected. So there are many things that we are doing together, in international level. So like today, as you all know, the Biafra is now in global, discussion, and that is what we are doing. We are going to be pushing and making this pressure to go very, very high, to the highest level. Before the November ending, when the self-referendum will be concluded, we will know how many voters and how many Biafrans have registered their vote. And of course, those who have voted to exit Nigeria will definitely be made public. And that publication will be in Finland during the convention. So on this note, those of you who are yet to get your ticket to Finland, please, you know where to go, to the administrator, Biafra Security Administration website. That's where you get your ticket to Finland, and make sure that you do it on time, because the limit is still at 1,000. Once it is 1,000, you may not be able to make it to Finland. So please, the space is still limited. And of course, the BLT, the Biafra Liberation Tax, is still something that every Biafran, anywhere you are in the world, you must participate in it. I am very, very commending these people in South Africa. I was surprised to see this particular awareness in the street of South Africa. So whoever that was the one shouting and creating this awareness in South Africa, we commend you, and we need more Biafrans like that, to push the awareness to the street, especially for people to understand that voting in this self-referendum is very important. The people in the homeland are taking the lead. The people in the homeland have recorded over 5 million votes in the homeland. And the Biafrans in diaspora are yet, we are yet to see the effect of the diasporans in the voting. But of course, quite reasonable numbers have voted, but yet we expect to see more of the diaspora participation. It is not just only funding the government and supporting the liberation. The most important thing now, in as much as you are funding the government and the liberation of Biafra, we want to see your vote counted. That is the democratic right that you do not want to miss. So, Dr. Levy, thank you. And I know many people may have questions, so you will give us some time to entertain few questions. And of course, myself will be ready to answer questions. And then after that, we'll call it a day until the next update that will happen after our next move. All right, the media team, you can take it off from here. Thank you. And then, of course, the Minister of Finance, if you have any update on the finance, if you have anything to say about the finance, especially on the importance of participating in the fundraising and other groups that have been created, for the Biafra Liberation Tax. If you want to make a comment on that, you can come in. Otherwise, we go to the comment, general comment, and of course, the question and answer. Thank you. The media team, over to you.
Finance Minister, are you there? The floor is open for questions and answers. Please raise your hand and throw in your questions. The floor is open for question and answers.
Anybody who want to ask question can raise his hand, and we'll give you like 1 minute to ask question. If there is no question, then we have to start rounding up.
Okay. Ngosina Udekwe, unmute yourself.
Good evening, my beautiful people. Good evening, my Prime Minister. I greet you for your very good work that you have been doing for our people. Am I coming out?
Yes, you're coming out.
Okay. Thank you for your good work that you have been doing to liberate our people from this abject poverty and the suffering that we have been suffering from Nigeria. And my question is, for those of us who have been helping people to be voting online, the receipt with us now is too much, and it is hard for me to identify who is who from the receipt, because the receipts are almost the same thing. I want to know if there will be need at the end of the voting, if everybody is going to be coming with their receipt one by one. How are we going to identify it? Most especially those of us that are voting online, that are helping people to vote. Thank you, my Prime Minister.
You don't need to come with any receipt. All we need to see is to see those numbers rising on our end.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Chinemerem Sam, unmute yourself. Chinemerem Sam, you have the mic.
Yeah, good morning, Biafrans. Good morning, my Prime Minister. Good morning, everybody. I have a question. Knowing fully well that Nigeria is so devilish and so evil, very like Satan himself is in Nigeria. So knowing all these things, If they did not appear or respond to this application, what will be our next step? Thank you, sir.
Our next step is exactly what we are doing. We don't care whether they respond or they don't respond. Well, we have formally filed this application, and if they don't respond, it is in the record that we have done it. And our demands and concerns were well stated in that application. Like I said, I'm going to make it public. So we're going to post it public. There is nothing hidden anywhere. So every person who is interested will go and see for themselves. And if Nigeria do not respond, the 2nd of December, after the 2nd of December, we are going to continue what we have planned to do. And of course, the rest will be history. We have defeated Nigeria as of today. You can see them crying. This is a country that spent billions of dollars in their military, whatever, but because the land is against them, the spirit of Biafra that they massacred for over 50, 60 years, they can never be appeased without the freedom of Biafra people. You hear the chief of defense staff claiming that when they go by air to bombard Biafra land, they don't see anything. It is only in the public. That's an open confession that they go to bomb Biafra, but they can't see anything from the air. Have you ever seen anything like that? Where the chief of the defense of a nation will come to a national TV and open mouth and talk anyhow. That they go to bomb Biafra land and they can't see anything from the air. So the land is against them. And more of this confession will come. Just watch and see. So if they don't respond, we don't care. Like I have discussed with our attorney, my intention of doing this is to fulfill every requirement. So that tomorrow, when somebody will come and ask Simon Ekpa, why are you taking this particular step you are taking? I will have enough reason that is reasonable enough for people to support the exit of Biafra. It is the only way to save life of millions of people so that Nigeria will not massacre us again and go free. So we are doing it not just for the record purpose, but also to make sure that those approach that we talked about, that we followed all of them, not just coming to social media and talk without action. Our action is beyond just self-defense. We take it up to the international legal level, and then of course, diplomatic level and political level. So it is all approach, all inclusive. That's what we're doing. Like I said, if they don't respond, that is their business. Thank you.
David, unmute yourself. David, unmute yourself. You have the mic.
Good evening, my Prime Minister. Thank you so much for coming to answer questions to the Biafran people. Please, my question is this. We have seen the upsurge of killings, kidnappings, displacement of indigenous populations all over Nigeria, except in Biafra land. And in Biafra land, we have 40 states in Biafra land. We want to know, how have you been able to withstand the invasion by the terrorist state, that it is only in Biafra land that we are not witnessing all these kind of killings? What is the secret behind your doggedness? What is the secret behind your tenacity? And what is the secret behind the positive responses that you give to Biafrans that they can never be killed again like they are killed before?
Because we know the secret to the killing. Self-defense. It is only law that Africans are aliens to. Majority of Africans are aliens to the law of self-defense. So when you see them talking about me, for example, how you must bring Simon Ekpa to kill, I look at them and laugh, because it shows that they know nothing about international law and they know nothing about self-defense. They think that when somebody comes to kill you with a gun, you must stay like this to be a law-abiding citizen and let the person kill you, so that the next person who the bullet did not hit will cry and make videos and post on social media. No. And one thing we have come to understand is the activation of the law of self-defense. So when they carry AK-47 to kill you, buy AK-47 to defend yourself. You know, and when they hear it, they go gaga. Wow. You want to tell people to carry AK-47? Wow, you are a criminal. You are a terrorist. And they thought by calling me a terrorist will stop me from asking Biafrans to defend themselves with gun when they come with gun to kill you. That is the difference. So they have seen somebody who know what they don't know. Not that I know what they know. I know what they don't know. And that thing they don't know is the law of self-defense. You can imagine where somebody is coming to kill you with a gun and you defend yourself, they turn around and call you a criminal. You can imagine where Nigeria, like you just said, there are killings all over Nigeria. And of course, nobody is doing anything, only to make a video, share on social media, and there is no solution. These villages are being ransacked by terrorists every day. 500 people kidnapped, killed. Nobody is doing anything. They are after Simon Ekpa because Simon Ekpa have done something none of them can do. And what is it? To preach self-defense, give encouragement to the people on ground, to let them understand that carrying a gun to defend yourself against gun-carrying terrorists is not a crime. That is the fact. It is not a crime anyway. So only when you know your right, you can be able to do what we're doing. So we know our right, and we know it very well. That's why I am standing here very strongly, speaking and waiting for anybody to do anything. And let me ask the person, under which law and under which international law are you going to call me a criminal for asking Biafrans to defend themselves against the barbarism and terrorism of Nigeria state? So my brother, they can never defeat us with the barrels of the guns. And also, I've made it very clear, Nigeria continue to use guns and bullets to keep one Nigeria, and the people at the receiving end are Biafrans. That have ended. It's not going to continue anymore. You can't keep Nigeria one with guns and bullets in this 21st century. Not possible. So we are going to give it to them bullet by bullet, iron to iron, gun to gun, until the world listen and know that we have a very valid reason to ask for our own freedom under self-determination. It's something you have done to other parts of the world. Why are we different? So this right, we are standing gidigam on it. Thank you.
Yeah, can I add something, Mr. Prime Minister?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
It is a human right. It's a human right to defend yourself. They don't talk about that much, but we know that it's a human right. And we can point to our brothers in Ambazonia, the Ambazonian Defense Force. Its leader, Ayaba, is a free man. He's not being arrested. So that shows you that it's a human right. It's a human right to defend yourself. And they don't talk about that, but the fact is you cannot be arrested for promoting self-defense when someone comes to kill you. End of story on that.
Thank you very much.
Pharmacist Diana, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, my Honorable PM and COS and Dr. Levy for this wonderful press. Thank you for giving this press briefings. It's also have given us the much needed wealth of information that we're seeking for. For that, I say thank you very much. And I also like to use this opportunity to speak to the Biafrans in diaspora. I realize it's important, our jobs are very important because we're chasing money to fund this liberation and freedom. But please, each and every one of us should try and make out time to complete your voting and then do your registration for Finland. And I'm hoping to see all of you there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Diana. Solomon, unmute yourself. Solomon, unmute yourself. David, you still have another question? Go ahead. Your hand is up.
Yes,
again.
thank you. Thank you so much. My Prime Minister, I want to ask this question. You said by suing Nigeria in an African court, we know that Nigerian government wield a significant influence in Africa. don't you think the outcome of that court case will be influenced by the corruption or corruptive tendencies of the Nigerian government?
You probably did not listen to what I answered. Were you the one who asked for the previous question?
No, not really, sir.
So, and you think that I have not addressed this question? I said, we don't care. What we have done is the right thing. So let us wait. We cannot just start flogging the issue on the internet. That is the problem of Nigeria. That's the Nigerian mentality. You go to the social media and have court hearing. It is called public opinion. We don't do that. We have done what we believe is the right thing. Allow the African court to do whatever they have to do with the case. You don't come here and start giving them, start doing the Nigeria way, because Nigeria is when people go to court, they will go to social media and have the trial. They will go to NTA News, they will go to channel television. That's where the trial is taking place. They call it public opinion. Nigeria judicial system is a mess. It is based on public opinion. When people sue you to court, they will go to social media and start debating it. You will see analysts. They will be, and then the judges in the case will be listening to them and who the people are supporting most. That's how they are going to rule the case. And that is completely rubbish. That's why Nigeria don't have a working, justice system. So we don't do this something here. The Biafra government has done the right thing, which is taking Nigeria to court, and it is Nigeria versus Biafra. So let's see how the African Union is going. This is a very peculiar case. It's not just anyhow thing. You need to go through the document and see the point and the wording of this document, and you see what the Biafra government has done. So let us watch and see how the African Union Court will handle it. And we don't need to give them opinion on that. Thank you.
Okay. Can I ask one more question?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. My Prime Minister, you said over 6 million Biafrans have voted so far in the self-referendum. I want to ask you, sir.
Only in Biafra land.
Okay, only in Biafra land, like you said.
Homeland, yes.
Okay, I want to ask you, sir, are you impressed so far by the turnout of the voting, and what do we expect in the second phase? Thank you, sir.
I am very, very impressed. You know why? Because of the disenfranchisement of the Nigeria state, security threat, and many risks involved. We've seen where our people have been kidnapped in part of the riverine area, in a former Akwa Ibom. Some people were kidnapped there by the Nigeria state, while they gather in a compound for the voting. And we have seen a lot of harassment here and there. So I'm very, very proud, and for the results so far. And also remember that in the beginning, it was only the online voting. We find out that online voting, because there is no light, no electricity, our people are not very conversant with using this modern technology and all that. Remember, this is the first time ever that many people are even participating in electoral process. First time ever. So many people do not have the email, the Gmail to be able to participate. So that's another disenfranchisement on its own. We also notice this, a lot of complaint from Biafrans. We change the situation, and then we change the pattern. And again, we find out that also we needed to have electoral officials. We also provided electoral officials for this particular exercise. They were also facing with a lot of challenges, of course, kidnapping from the Nigeria state and all that. So yes, with all but you see the resilience in Biafra people, the zeal in them.
Ndị be anyị daalụ nne nụ ngị bụ onye ọma na-ege ntị ka isi wee nụkwa n'onu anyị and ka isi wee sorola anyị n'ihe anyị na-eme n'ife anyị mere n'ụbọchị nke taa na Eastern News 24. Anyị si na ọ ya dịrị nche dị na mma na Chukwuka bịa ma ya nọọla ya ofu na ofu, otu anyị kwuru otu aka ya dịrịrị. Ise dịka o si dị, ọ na-anụgo n'ihe Biafran Prime Minister kwugasị dị iche iche, and chetakwa na ihe a bụ evening tea. Before anyị aga n'ihu ikwu okwu dị aha anyị chọrọ ikwu nke Igbo agba, ọ bụ na ihe aka bụ Publicizing gị na-esoro anyị na Eastern News 24, kabalụ ka ị join anyị and subscribe or turn on your notification ka ịlapụ miss any of our daily update. Ọ dị ezigbo mkpa ụmụchukwu n'elu akwụkwọ ka ịlapụ miss ya, maka na ebe ị ga-enweta latest information na-emenụ ka ịma ka esi azụ onwe gị. Dịka o si dị, ejikwala ada ekene mmadụ dịka PM and also bụ ndị n'ọrụ n'ụlọokwu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu bụ onye ndu nke ndị Igbo. Chukwuoka abịama ya nọnyere gị. Ikpe gị na-abịa na 19th, Chukwuoka abịama ga-enye gị freedom. Ise ị ga-ewere onwe gị, ọ nwere ife onye ịrọpụrụ ime gị, maka ife ị na-ekwu bụ eziokwu. Chukwuoka abịama sị gị kwuo eziokwu a na-akụrọ mmiri. The gospel of Chukwuoka abịama ya ka ọ na-ezi. Cheki ife niile onye ndu kwuru, pịkọ ka kreatọ, cheki stọk ya bụ ife niile a bụ ife n'ime obodo kịta. Chinefe a na-anụ ọzọ anọgide asị na sineti enye ya 500 million. Gịnị ka a jizi eme? And people nọ na-ata afọ anọgide si mba not 255 million. What is happening? Sometimes na-ajụ ndị bayo gịnị na-eme na anyị ka e mere anyị ife a. Anọgide asị na-eburu ụmụ akwụkwọ 200 and something Christians to tell you that this country can never be one. Ọ bụrụ ofu, chekie ya. Ọ bụkwa a ga-asịkwa nọ ndị Biafra Liberation Army bi eje bugo n'ụmụaka na Sokoto, a ga-akpọkọfa afa na to tell you the country the bias, everything is not working, nothing is working. Nwere ife na-arụ ọrụ, everything dey paralyze ka onye ike ụwago. Chekie ya na ife anyị na-agwụ bụ eziokwu. Ịghọtago? $1 na exchange onye agha nduru over na 750. Now today is sending bụ almost 1,658 naira. Imagine. Igbo bụ Igbo gwụna kwa ha m n'ọnụ. Kabalụ ka kọmentị ya n'ihe and share ya. Ọ dị mkpa ka o lichie more of our blooders and bleeders ka ha mara ife na-eme n'obodo. Daalụ nne ngwanụ ka emesịa n'ume Igbo.